Okay, we here. We made it. It's a Thursday. I intended for these to be on Wednesdays, but it's happening. I said, as long as I get it in for the week, that's success. Uh, that is success to me because I'm showing up to something I said I was gonna do. I've been having some funny thoughts. Okay, so one of them is I feel like instead of telling in this video where I'm at, y'all can start trying to take a guess. For those of you who are watching or will be watching in the future when you come across this video. So, yeah, take a guess. I don't think it'll be that hard for you. But ain't no clues here because obviously I'm inside of a building, some sort of building. I didn't bring my notes, but I had wrote some things down during this week that I was like, okay, God, like, what do you want me to share? What do you want the people to know? And I had this experience yesterday. It was a mighty fine day, okay? Everything was great, but I knew I was preparing for something that was going to challenge me because it was challenging me as I was practicing it, which is worship. I was the leader for worship yesterday at youth services, and I'm not singing in front of people like that. I used to not sing in front of people like that. The first time I had sang in front of a group of people was at youth services. So the first time I did it, I think I did a phenomenal job. But also the songs weren't as challenging. These two songs that I did that we all sang, but for me, it definitely got me out of my comfort zone in singing because I'm used to singing more alto, lower, or harmony. I can melody, but it just depends on like where the song is going. Like I can. I'm learning to get to a higher pitch and be comfortable in that pitch and confident. So leading up to coming to services, I'm feeling good. I've been singing the song, I've been practicing, I've been looking at the tutorials, getting some guidance, and doing my vocal exercises to prepare my vocals. I get there for rehearsal, and I just don't sing it the same way that I have been practicing it. And I just could not find the right pitch, and the keys and the instruments were different than my voice, so it's not matching, and I'm feeling defeated just in rehearsal. And I'm like, we got like 10 minutes before these students got to come in here, and we're on not much longer after. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna like fall on my face in front of everybody. That's just what's gonna happen right now. And it's my fault because I did not prepare myself to have the confidence to be in the pitch that was needed for these songs. Everything turned out fine. Okay, it was fine. Someone else took the lead, and I just helped harmonize, but also bring up some of the chorus. So we figured it out, but I still felt defeated afterwards. Like, I did not have confidence in that, especially like I did like the first round. But here I am playing the comparison game, which is the Thief to Joy. There's this along with something that someone told me that I took personal, and I started making assumptions. So my heart hurt a little bit. So it kind of like fueled the fire of defeat a little bit. And then, when you're working with the youth, it can feel not very rewarding a lot of the time because you're not seeing the fruits of your labor like this. And you're not seeing it even in a year or 2 years. And you might see like subtle things of it, like students coming to Christ, which is a huge reward. It's the biggest reward for God, for them, for all of us to celebrate that new life, that new beginning, that renewal. So I'm not discrediting that. It's more like, personal desire to see it as far as how they live their life too. Not just saying, yes, I give my life to Christ and we celebrate this, and then they still continue to walk in the same life that they had. But of course, they're kids. So it's going to take them time, and that's where grace comes in. Sorry, I'm like sweating because I've been outside and I got this thing on. It's keeping me warm. Anyway, so yeah, working with the youth, and they were all over the place. And I just had to like let them know gently but firmly, like, I'm not playing this right now, because it was like phones and distractions and doing all this. And I'm like, I know y'all had a long day and you overstimulated, but like, phones down. That's not what we're here for. Anyway, so these three things accumulated up to feeling the most defeated in my day yesterday. So the funny thing about this, God has such a great humor. And I think I'm going to say this so many times. So if you hear it again and again in these videos coming up, it's just because that's what's been standing out to me about God lately. So I put on this shirt yesterday. It's a shirt that we got for the youth. It says committed. Bold letters. Committed. Committed, committed. There's three of them, but bold, committed. And so, I'm walking up in there thinking I'm exuding this confidence in God. And, I prayed before arriving and I prayed there. And that's not what I felt afterwards. And by the end of the night, I was like, man, I don't even want to ever come back here. That's how defeated I felt. I was like, I'm going to tell them that I'm not serving no more with the youth. I'm done. And why my husband got me up here singing? Like, who is he to do? In my mind, I'm just like having this battle of defeat. Like, I don't want to sing in front of nobody no more. Just who I'm comfortable with, like for the Lord, yes. But in front of all these people, nah, I'm cool. But that's just because, again, I felt defeated. I felt embarrassed. But more than anything, I feel like it's because I didn't show up authentically, because I was already judging myself whenever I did start to feel like I was failing, that I had made a mistake. So I'm driving home and I'm talking with my husband about it. And I just started smiling as I'm talking to him about it, because I'm like, I'm wearing this shirt to say committed. And I'm over here saying I ain't never going to show up again. Now, committed is not just to say, oh, I'm only, like, I'm committed to Christ and to serving Christ. And so it ain't always going to be pretty, especially in this type of work where it's going to make you question the change that needs to happen inside. And the second thing that happened that was like, really, God, you funny. Just making me smile, and nobody knows what's happening, just him and I. I went to the library today with my daughter and my sister. We're sitting there to do the story time, and I'm looking at these books on the side, because she's not paying attention anyway. She's looking at books with her auntie. I'm looking at these books to pick out for her to bring home to check out, and I pick up one, and it's called How to Have Grit. And I'm like, okay, let me see what you got, guys. So I'm looking, I'm flipping through the pages, and I'm like, you're just speaking to me right now through a book that someone wrote, who knows how long ago, but placing it right there in front of my eyes to see, and like perfect divine timing. So out of everything that I've shared, it is one, we're not taking things personal. And that's easier said than done. So it's more of like identifying when you are taking things personal and kind of just checking yourself, like, why do I feel like I'm taking this personal? And what else can I do to replace this thought? What can I think instead? And then that goes along with the assumptions. Like, don't make assumptions, ask questions, because you don't know why so and so said, did this until you get the truth from them. So, those two things, and stay in the thing. Because in this book, it was talking about it's okay. The way they worded it was perfect for me. So I'm not going to say it the way that they did because I can't remember verbatim. But it's like things are going to fall through. There's going to be failures, there's going to be mistakes. That's the opportunity to learn from what happened so you could be better for the next. And also, like, in recognizing that there's people that are modeled for us in so many different areas that look like they just got it. They just natural. They are perfect at what they do. That's their gift. Yada yada. Okay, well, they also had to put in the work too. So I guess all of this sums up to put in the work. Put in the work. Like, it's going to be challenging. It's going to challenge your growth, and it's going to hurt a little bit. So I think the beauty in it is to remember, remind yourself that this is an opportunity for me to learn. Each day I know is a learning lesson. And yesterday was definitely one of them. But I know for me and for y'all, it's not something to be sitting in shame about or feeling guilty about or just dragging it on in your mind, because right then you're just kind of just playing like a fantasy, and more than likely it's not one that's serving you. So identify, recognize, and if you need, replace the thoughts with God's truth. So go to the Bible, go to God. Like, this is what's on my heart. I know you know what's on my heart, but I gotta say it out loud so you can rid me of it, so I can surrender it fully, let it go, and move on. Yes, I'm learning from it. And then I can laugh about it later on, like, man, look how far I've come. So thank y'all for listening to Lions Love. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.